Well, yes, long day. It's not every day that you kill a kraken. A human kraken. Well, I mean, that's good, but did we just go ahead and, like, just use buckets and just dump all the water out ourselves manually? That would have been, yeah,
You're
rough.
right.
So, yeah, it's time for a nice, relaxing day off. Celebrate our victory over a Kraken Day. Welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio, everyone. And already we're starting things off with a very interesting day. So today, that's the wrong button. Yeah, here we go. You have the option to spend this day with one party member or Basilio or Fidelio. You will get a unique conversation and accessory based on who you do this with. You are also able to do other activities that spend time, but I highly recommend doing one of the unique events instead, because you'll miss out on this accessory otherwise. Now, this accessory, even though it has a different name, it has the same effects, regardless of who you spend time with. So don't need to worry, you'll have the same gameplay effect. This is entirely about who you, like, which party member you want to spend time with the most. But this being one of my comprehensive playthroughs, I am going to be reloading and showing everyone's dialogue. Although I think first we can actually cook something. But I can't make anything new, so I'm going to hold off for now. Might be worth your while to keep a save from here if you want to see all of the conversations. There's one other event like this in the story too, and it happens in the same arc. In fact, before we start with Stroll, there's actually a hidden option. If you press the triangle button, you can actually elect to spend time with Gallica here.
Okay then.
That's kind of a shame these aren't voiced.
That reminds me.
Tribe of fish people, huh? Well, I mean, that does sound a lot like Sanctus propaganda. It's probably just a group of people who, live and fish around these parts, and the Sanctus are like, they're evil fish people who are coming to steal our children or something. That sounds like something that they do. Although, granted, walking fish, that sounds a lot like the Homo Theos.
Hey! Thanks.
Oh. Yeah, that is true. The kind of prejudices against fairies aren't really talked about that much in the story, but you do see them if you speak to some NPCs. Just want people to see me as... This is actually... You really don't get this view of who Gallica is in any other part of the game.
It'll be fine.
Yep. Hey there.
So even Gallica gives you one of these items, and all of them are considered gold tier rarity. Huh. I guess even in this world, they're aware that all life came from the sea.
Let's call it.
And now, Stroll. Well, I mean, as smooth as this can be riding right now.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat. Yeah, that's the hard part when fighting against a smart villain, especially a smart villain who's actually written well and can seem convincingly smart. So, Stroll's options are apparently any and then one. Well, I mean, we do have high imagination.
Oh, right.
Yeah, in the manga, Stroll actually met us even before we got to the recruitment center. Okay, we know Stroll's older than Will is, which was kind of obvious. And yes, I really do think of you as a true little brother. Stroll and Will shippers are sad.
Right.
But then again, people can easily ignore that. I think it actually is one of the most popular ships on AO3 for this game, but that's not saying much because there really isn't a very big fanfiction scene for Metaphor, at least not on AO3. It must just not really appeal to the kind of people who use AO3 a lot. I theorize it's because of the lack of explicit romance options the way that Persona has. So all of these accessories, as I said, they do the exact same thing. You're not missing out regardless of who you choose.
Got it.
Well, thankfully he's not irreplaceable enough to be an automatic game over if he goes down.
It'll be all right.
There are actually some unique mechanics around that now that we are in the top 20 of the rankings, but I'll explain that later. I'll just say, it doesn't seem like monsters are affected by the royal magic. It only seems to affect candidates killing each other, or by proxy, ordering other people. It's usually just sentient people that it impacts. But now, Holgenberg. The options are any 1-1, apparently? There aren't a lot of guides to the best mag ones here. The only one I could find didn't list Gallica's options. We probably should have saved a bit of that, almost called a homotenta because they're tentacles. That's a teeth. No, Homo Sabara. We should have saved a bit of it so that we could actually prove to people that Forden was lying. The sea monster really did exist, but it's actually dead now. Oh yeah, Holgerberg was very mistrustful of Neuras initially. Granted, he slammed the Gauntlet Runner into the Grand Cathedral, so, kinda makes sense.
Come now.
Huh. Oh, okay. Walls and floors traded their roles. That's amazing. Yeah, I've heard that people have done that, though probably not reading a book until the sea calms itself. Yes. Fighting a giant kraken with a human face is less crazy than what you did in the previous trip. It's funny, I guess we are now taking a royal yacht across the sea.
It'll be fine.
And yeah, saying that she was looking for a place to die, that's actually a common trend of knight characters in various fiction. There's a few Fire Emblem characters like that. Hagen comes to mind especially. He's actually one of the few characters that I allowed to die in my first playthrough of FE7.
Well, take this.
Yes, that kind of luck. I've heard a lot of stories, fictional stories about people who just happen to miss a flight that turns out to be a disaster.
Now then.
Although that makes me a little scared because I'm scheduled to take a flight at some point this year. Anyway, statistically, flying is the safest way of travel. But it's common in fiction for somebody to be saved by what seems like misfortune.
And so...
But now, let's see Heisme's conversation. I was looking for him on the watchtower, but it turned out that we just go back to the watchtower anyway. Guide says option 1 and then 2 for this. Pandemonium is a good word, though it just reminds me of Bamboo Pandemonium from Mega Man X8. That's a very silly name. Not nearly as silly as Duff McWhalen, though. rip Duff McWhalen. They removed that name in the new translation of Mega Man X5. But yeah, it makes sense that with those ears, you'd be more sensitive to the sounds of the sea. I suppose that's why you make a good fisherman, because you can hear the fish under the water.
Well,
I've already forgotten the options. 1 and 2. True, we could quite easily just overpower them and toss them overboard. I mean, we have archetypes and they don't. Yeah, actually, is his first time.
I believe. But
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Look at that.
yes. My apologies.
Yeah, these conversations are really cool. They show interesting sides of characters that you wouldn't see otherwise. Yeah, I'm sure Heisme has a lot of stories. That's a pretty nice one. And our last party member, Juna, is right here.
Got a second? Thanks.
I feel like doing her conversation is pretty common because she is the newest member you got. It makes sense that players want to know more about her. But there is, let's just say that there are some other options that I personally go for a little more. Don't let him catch you calling him Dear Fidelio, he'll take that the wrong way.
Well,
Any 2 and 3, apparently.
yeah. But
Sadly true. Yeah, you're aware of that more than anyone else. I mean, nobody else in the party was there when that happened.
hey,
Leave it to me.
Yeah, not sure how great Will is at singing. I mean, we have eloquence, but that's more for public speaking than it is for song, and those are very different skills. Juna fell asleep. I mean, at least this one justifies why this conversation takes hours. Do like how there's a 4 triangle option in most of these.
look at this.
And it will continue to slip your mind, sadly, in the canon timeline, where I'm gonna go for somebody else's event. A lot of these are charms people brought before they left Brylehaven. Okay, that is true. In Pokemon, they don't really sell for very much, though. Ah, yes, true.
Bye.
Then Fidelio will find some excuse to be like, I'm not trying to find you because I like you or anything. Oh, okay, so Moore actually has comments on different parts of the story. Sadly, Moore's not an option for this part, nor is the cat. Just realized there's a picture of Neuros there, but also of a cat? Was that Neuros's cat? I was so distracted by the cat, I didn't realize that Fidelio was actually right here all this time.
What do you want?
He was actually the guy that I wanted to talk to next, but like, I just went all around the Golem and I couldn't find him. I had to look up where he was. So, yeah, you can spend time with the Magnus brothers. And this is your first chance to do so, so I feel like it's another popular option for players. I don't know which are the most popular of all these, like the game doesn't keep statistics on it or anything. Any two, apparently.
No.
You couldn't lie to a mirror, that's great.
A word of warning.
Yes, of course, it's Lady Juna. It's always Lady Juna with you. Kind of. Huh.
Seriously.
I mean, we also pulled you out of the water. I mean, you would be dead if it weren't for us. Yeah, apparently there's option 2 here. So, even though you get the same accessory, in terms of mag, there are objectively better choices for this event. I'm just finding that out, looking at this online thing. I'll explain that once I've done Basilio's, but Basilio and Fidelio give the least mag by far of anyone here. And that does make sense, given that, you know, they haven't really warmed up to us yet. You do still get an accessory, though. Oh, handmade flute. Ah, okay, I was wondering if you'd made it, and I'm like, oh, you do music, I didn't realize that. But yeah, we still get the accessory.
Got it.
You insulted Neuros, of course you don't give the most mag. I still like Fidelio, though. So, Juna, Heisme, and Hulkenberg all give 1,450 mag if you choose the right options. Stroll gives 1,000, and then Basilio gives 600, and Fidelio only 450. Actually, I think it was 500, so, Guy might be a little off there. Just noticed all those, like, pots and pans are kind of swinging, but they're still attached. But, even though he might not give the best mag, I am going to make Basilio the canon choice for this playthrough. I think Basilio is the one that I went with when I first played. Either him or Fidelio. Just because we gotta, you know, ingratiate ourselves to these two. We've gotta make them actually like us. We're stuck with each other for this whole arc, and it's good if they're not, you know, hating our guts and suspicious and thinking we're trying to kill their boss, even though we kind of are. So Basilio's options are any and then 1.
What the?
I mean, it's quite large by our standards, but as someone who used the Caratrius, yeah, I'm sure it would be small.
Maybe. Got it.
I mean, now's the perfect time to break out Will's catchphrase. If we die together. I just realized in a way that kind of sums up his philosophy in some regards as well. Yep, when you're used to luxury. Well, that's a sudden escalation.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's good to know at least this guy has fears. White Sand Rose. Well, yeah, I get the sense that a novelty shop knockoff of a Parapus-like charm is probably some kind of racist cultural appropriation thing, but at least it gives us +5 to all stats. Oh, but it is nice that, yeah, Dell gave one to you when you were younger.
Hey!
And he's gonna throw in that tsundere bit.
As the clear surface gives way to the glassy ink of darkness, the gauntlet runner reaches a remote island. The party gets a good night's rest, grateful for the still land that does not sway them at its whims.
So we have another full activity tonight, and I should mention, it's not a huge priority to be, really catching up on your reading, because in this arc, there are a lot of forced travel segments, obviously, since that's the only way you can cross the ocean, so you have plenty of time for Gauntlet Runner activities. And if you haven't done the Gauntlet Runner rank-ups of various characters, now is the best time. So I believe we did a Reminiscence with Juna. It's been a day since I recorded the first half of this part. We did a Reminiscence with Juna previously. So, in terms of who else is available, we have Hulkenberg, Stroll in the Lounge,
All right then.
and Heisme up on deck. Don't think we've really had much of a Reminiscence with Heisme.
Ah, it's you.
I think this is the first time where we haven't had enough time to do every single Reminiscence on, our trip between story destinations. Don't exactly need Imagination right now, but it doesn't hurt. Interestingly, I think Imagination is the next rank that I need to... is the stat I need to get Heisme's next rank. What exactly did happen? A lot happened. This is the one that apparently gives the most mag. Yeah. It's sort of interesting because, the Brylehaven arc is not exactly, super popular with the fan base, and I feel like one of the reasons why it might not be as memorable is that
Even so,
the Matira arc was very focused on the town itself, and the Grand Trad arc with the Cathedral, it was focused on actually helping the people of that place, they were under direct threat, but the people of Brylehaven were really not involved in that story arc at all. It was really all about Luis, and it was definitely, the Caradrius and the Luis stuff were great, I do like all that stuff, but it kind of feels like that whole arc, just, apart from the side quests, and even then, those are, not really that memorable to me. You're not really doing a lot to get to know the people of Brylehaven or what Brylehaven is like as a culture, unless you go out and talk to, NPCs. Whereas this arc is very much the exact opposite. This arc is deeply connected to the people of Virga Island. You'll see, because we're about to get there.
Luis has sent an emissary to Virga Island.
Well, I mean, be thankful it's us and not one of his other troops, because in that case, by emissary, they would mean, murder everyone person. Which is what Forden probably wants to do with the pagans. So, someone in the comments pointed out something, I didn't even consider this, but wow. Okay, so, because the only people who've been told to go and pillage the relics are the top 20 candidates and protected by the king's magic, if they were going to take the relics by force, there is literally nothing that the pagans can do about it. Because they're invincible due to the king's magic, they cannot be harmed. So they can just walk right in, inflict whatever violence they want on these native populations, and no consequences. It's really and surely Forden must be aware of that, and he did that very specifically.
As reported by a crier, it's the elder boy who brought Joanna to the judging.
So he stands with Luis then. No doubt he seeks Dracodius.
Ah, so you would know what that is too.
A gambit to steal the public's gaze, perhaps. Taking a prize from the only land beyond the church's reach. Laughable. The reason we leave those barbarians alone is that we've nothing to gain from them.
Didn't your leader just say that Dracodios is important and that people want it?
Your Eminence?
Merely a passing thought.
Let him chase the lands. It changes nothing. With the dawn of Saints' Day, your Eminence's authority will be unshakable as the mountains.
As long as we tell the public that these divine relics truly originated in Sanctism, yes, that should do. The candidates gathered at the Saints' Day festival will be under the protection of the king's magic. Some of them may use that as a shield to sow violence and discord.
Yeah, but like I said, I get the sense that's what you're counting on when it comes to the pagan lands.
I am aware, Your Eminence. Please, leave everything to your humble servant.
Oh-ho!
Yeah, if we're just gonna go in there and say, hey guys, can we borrow your most sacred relic for a little bit? We promise we'll give it back to you in, I don't know, but we'll give it back to you eventually. Yeah, Heisme knows things about insular and closed-off communities, given that his own village is one of them.
Narrowly escaping the threat of the sea monster, the party rides the currents of the inland sea to their destination, Virga Island. Virga is a word given to the island by the mainland, meaning uncivilized. But its inhabitants give this name no purchase. Put another way, we are trespassers from a country that has unilaterally regarded the islanders as heretics. To forget this is to invite pointless conflict, as though it knows it is unwelcome. The Gauntlet Runner glides silently onto the island's less populated rear shore.
Moore actually said we there. He considers himself like part of the group when talking about this. Interesting. Okay, you know, I think it's probably a good idea to just stop now, because there are some big things that are going to happen in the story as we start the island arc, so I'll be covering that next time. See you all then.
Well then. True.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's